broadcasting from the brand new Velocity Wings in Bristow, Virginia. Welcome to the Rebel Run Sports Show. I am John Moore, joined as always by Rob Giampapa. Rob, can you believe final week of the regular season already?
No, man. No, it flew by. Absolutely.
A lot of fun week, a lot of rivalry games, so we'll get right to it.
It got a little bit chilly on Friday night.
A little bit chilly. I had the hand warmers this time.
Yeah.
Still wearing shorts, but hand warmers were in full effect.
Probably not good. Probably not good for your vocal reach.
No, vocals are a little faded,
little bit.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you, we talked about it. There were some terrific games on the schedule this last week. A lot of rivalry games, a lot of big games. Biggest one in Loudoun County had to be Brier-Stonebridge. Just a really good rivalry. Brier-Woods has been a little bit on a roll lately, and they've knocked off some big teams this season. But that Brier-Stonebridge game. Did
I pick Brier-Woods?
Of course you did.
I'm just checking.
Of course you did.
I don't remember. I have been under the weather.
I, however, did not. I picked Stonebridge. And man, Stonebridge, they came out on fire in that game. Well, to get the game going, we talked about the Springs brothers.
Yeah.
Jalen Thomas threw a pass to Samari Springs for a touchdown early in that game to go up 6-0. Brier-Woods just Stonebridge just completely takes over from that point.
Yeah.
They roll off 21 points in the first quarter. Josh Brees. I don't get whatever he goes by, Joshua. I'll call him whatever he says. That dude, he follows up a 200-yard game last week with 18 carries for 152 yards this week. I mean, he's shifty behind that offensive line. You got to watch out. And I remember we talked to Coach Eldred at one point. He said that guy he's tough to contain. He's he's really good. But they run off the 21 in the first quarter, and then they run up they go up 13-0 in the second quarter. So they put up. I mean, the game was over at halftime, but. Brier-Woods battles back a little bit. They come back, and Ben Maffey gets a touchdown late. I really like that guy. I really like Ben Maffey. He's a big dude. He's good. They battle back. It ends up 41-20. Stonebridge finishes 8-2.
Right.
Steamrolling into the playoffs. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
Definitely.
They're going to be a tough out.
Looking forward to seeing that.
Absolutely. Well, John?
Oh, man. This has been such a emotionally up and down 2 weeks between me and the Hayfield Hawks.
I'm telling you, they
probably don't like me. First I picked against them and they won.
And then you go
picked them, and what turned out to be, to me, the game of the week.
Yeah.
Madison goes into Hayfield. Hayfield has to win for outright conference championship.
Yep.
Madison has to win to get their way into a two-way tie. South Lakes can win. Luckily, they're playing Fairfax High School. Jeez. To make a three-way tie. So at the end of the day, if you have a Hawk in your school name in that conference, you get a share of the championship.
You're running things.
So Madison comes in, forces 3 first-quarter Keeney turnovers.
That was tough.
Goes up 24-0. And just when the Madison, they brought the cheering sections with them. They brought the band. The atmosphere was crazy out there. Hayfield, they were packed. And Madison goes up 24-0, and you just think the game is over. And, there's some, a couple people in the stadium on Hayfield side holding their heads and yelling at officials. And then the game just turns around. And we talked about Keeney to Cobb last week. This was the Keeney to Genovese show.
I told you, that guy's good, man. That guy is good.
So, Nick Genovese, 8 catches, 204 yards.
Gosh. Oh, my gosh.
8 catches, 204 yards, 4 touchdowns, right? We got Jacob Keeney, who throws for 24-44, 363. He had the 2 first-quarter interceptions, but after that, 4 touchdowns. If you take away his first quarter, they win that game going away.
Oh, my goodness.
But it was an incredible game. Hayfield has a chance to win at the end. They had first and goal at the 5, I believe it was. But give it to Madison. They came out. Coach Lenny Schultz had the defense fired up. They gave up more points than I think they've given up all year. But to a really good Hayfield team. But they end up with a big goal line stand at the end of the game. Madison wins 38-34. Now, a little housekeeping I got to take care of myself. And I blame whoever made the Hayfield High School roster sheet and the cap.
Yeah. They did that just for you.
Whoever did that. Alex Jallo to you and your family, I have to say, I apologize. I gave you some credit that you didn't rightfully deserve. Your Twitter account should have blown up if you got one. That's a good thing. Landon Thomas, I really apologize to you. Landon Thomas, number 9, 24 carries, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns. That sounds like my high school numbers. Maybe a little better.
Over the season.
24 for 284 touchdowns.
Oh, my goodness.
Madison 38-34. Again, conference championship split. Madison, Hayfield, South Lakes. Congratulations to all 3 schools.
Man, I told you that, Madison is tough. I mean, I like Hayfield a lot, but I like that Madison team too.
Yeah.
That's a tough little conference they got.
Oh, it is.
But, yeah, I like Jacob Chowka, the quarterback. He handles things pretty well out there, and he takes care of stuff. Their defense steps up and, really, really just – they have these times where they just step up. And I saw, they had a couple interceptions there in the beginning. One of them, the linebacker just jumped out of nowhere and caught that thing.
There's talent all over that field.
Absolutely,
talent all over that field.
And there is nothing wrong with either one of those uniforms.
No, absolutely not.
There's nothing wrong with either
I'll
one of those uniforms.
I'll tell you what, Hayfield, I hadn't been down to Hayfield in quite some time.
Yeah.
What they've done to that stadium,
Yeah.
that might be one of the cleanest stadiums I've seen. I don't know if their turf is new this year, but it made me want to run 40-yard dashes on it when I got out there.
That wouldn't have been
Then
good
I
for
realized
anybody.
I was 280 pounds.
That would not have been good for anybody.
Nick Conforti, 5 catches, 86 yards.
He's a beast. He's a beast, man. But I'll tell you, Nick Genovese, we talk about number 2. Everybody focuses on Brian Cobbs.
Yeah.
That's a really good number 2 to have.
Really good.
He'd be a number 1 at a lot of places.
Really good.
He had a couple of really nice catches in there, but that was a great game to see. I mean, you thought it was over early.
I did. And
they came storming
back. And
back.
after the game, I got a chance to catch up with Coach Lenny Schultz of Madison, and this is what.
Congratulations, Coach. Tell me what we just witnessed out there.
We witnessed 2 good football teams playing their hearts out and fighting to the very end. And my hat's off to them. They got a good team. They're well coached. They got a great scheme, and they played their hearts out. We played our hearts out, and at the end, Warhawks came out on top. And it could have been anybody's ball game, but we did our thing, and I thank God for my team and all the blessings He's given this team.
You guys, thanks again, Coach Schultz, for taking the time to talk to us after the game, and congratulations to Madison Warhawks and Hayfield and South Lakes. Moving on. So if Hayfield-Madison was game of the week 1A, 1B was Lake Braddock in South County.
You get in a lot of trouble in parts of Lorton for saying that.
Sorry.
Yeah,
A and B are interchangeable.
There ain't nothing wrong with that game.
No.
Man, Lake Braddock goes into South County. South County 7-2 going into that game. Lake Braddock, we've talked about 1,000 times this year, 8-1 going into that game. I told you they're the best. I expect to see them in the state finals.
For sure.
A huge game in that area. Huge game all over the place. Everybody's expecting a light show, and did they get it? The 52-44 was the final. But going through that game, my man Solomon Sameh from South County had 18 carries, $151, and a touchdown. Jack McDaniels from South County, 27-43, 4 touchdowns, 269. Had 2 picks in there, but man, Jack McDaniels he's been really good for South County this year. Seth Dunn, came from out of nowhere earlier this year. You were like, where did that guy come from?
Super fast.
7 catches, a $101 and a touchdown. Dylan Spalding, 8 catches, 74 yards and a touchdown. I mean, I think that's as good as you can do.
Yeah.
As a defense from Lake Braddock, that's as good as you could do against a guy like Dylan Spalding. I mean, that guy's just tremendous. But Lake Braddock, man. Who else gets it going for them?
Oh, man.
Lamont Atkins comes out and scores with a 28-yard run, puts them up to 10.
I don't mean to stir up controversy, but I think somebody needs to check Lamont Atkins' birth certificate. Because he's a grown man.
It's ridiculous. And UVA is just foaming at the mouth waiting to get that guy down there in January.
They need him.
Absolutely, dude. But
right now.
He puts them up 9-0. My man Solomon Sameh comes right back, gets them up 14-9 in the first quarter, and then Lake Braddock just starts to roll.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to go past anything other than Lamont Atkins. What else can you say when a dude puts up 23 carries, 270 yards, and 4 touchdowns? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was looking at it earlier this week. He averages 13 yards a carry this year. And had 22 touchdowns going into the game.
Long form Hawaiian birth certificate.
Yeah, right. But, all right. How many touchdowns do you have in your career?
Probably not as many as him.
I'm saying not as many as him this season, man.
Probably not as many as him this season.
22 going into the game. He comes out with 26. I think he had a pick in that game too.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the highlights, he's unbelievable.
He is.
He is unbelievable. He's got a great shift to him. But when he gets in the open field, it's over.
Usually, I would say about a player like him that he's a man playing amongst boys. But Lake Braddock is loaded with men down
My
there.
goodness. Their offensive and defensive lines, we talk about them all the time. They are terrific. You put up 343 rushing yards in that game.
Yeah.
I would love to run behind that offensive line if I was somebody else and my name was Lamont Atkins. But no, they were tremendous in that game.
I don't think anybody wants to see Lake Braddock in the playoffs.
No.
But whoever wins is going to have to.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Well, but they go on, they like I said, 52-44, shootout in that game.
Yeah.
You know, South County is no slouch. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs
for
too.
Sure.
But, man, Lake Braddock, Bruin Nation is going crazy. Shout out to Andrew Kim. He was out there shooting the game for us. This dude is dude, check out his hype vids. This dude is an incredibly talented film guy. Yeah, he has got a bright future in front of him for his film work.
For sure.
But, man, there's not enough I can say about Lake Braddock. Like I said, I expect you better be in the state finals.
Right. Surprise game of the week.
Oh, man.
Okay, so
Thursday night. I told you,
Thursday
man. Thursday night.
We're both at the game.
We both went to that
I'm
game.
out there with my family. I live right next to Battlefield High School. So the kid, that's the school that my kids end up going to. So they're all excited, let's go see Battlefield play. I'm like, yeah, Coach Van Aker. Battlefield versus Patriot, crosstown rivals. Both teams having a good year. This is a huge game.
Yeah.
We were late to the game, just the traffic getting in there. I think half the crowd was late to the game because of the traffic.
The worst traffic getting into a game I've seen all year. Did not expect that at all. Did not expect that at all. You think you would think going to the Lake Braddock South County game would have been, something like that.
Right.
Did not expect that Patriot High School would have the worst traffic situation getting into a game I've ever seen.
There were kids that were on Ben Hill Road that were getting out of their cars and running to the game so they could get there faster than the traffic would allow.
John, I parked at Marsteller Middle School, right? Everybody out in the Bristow, Noakesville area knows exactly where it is. I parked there and got out and walked the rest of the way. Could have killed myself.
We don't want that.
Could have killed myself. May have stepped into a ditch twice. People on the road, I'm sure they're looking at this going, oh, that's the guy that fell? Yeah, that's me. But got there. I beat a lot of people up there because I didn't have to try to find parking either.
That's right.
But, man, get there. It's 0-0 through the first half.
Yep.
I mean, you're like, man, I don't know how this is going to go out.
Right.
Second half, Patriot completely takes over that game. I was a little confused. You look at Battlefield's offensive line.
Right.
They're enormous. They're enormous. They're like double E Hall out there, right? They're enormous. Patriots defensive line had to give up like 100 pounds across the board to those guys.
Right.
Completely dominated that second half.
Yeah.
Completely dominated it. Sean Green from Battlefield still comes out with 24 carries and 88 yards, but he had to do a lot of that work himself. That offensive line didn't give him much help through that game. And Patriots defensive line, shout out to them. They were in that backfield. I don't know who number 9 is, but he was getting it coming off that edge. So yeah, number 9.
Send us a tweet.
Yeah, he was getting it coming across that line. But they go at, Patrick Bentley, their quarterback, gets a 3-yard run to put them up. That dude,
he's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
In the goal line situation, you're in trouble when that dude's coming across there, because he doesn't mind sticking his head down and laying some punishment on you either. But they go up and then they've got a guy, Ja Thompson. Their running back, 25 carries, 129 yards and a touchdown. Man, he really he really held that thing together in the second half. They gave him the ball. He had a couple of big runs that broke free. He took control of that game pretty well. And I like that dude a lot.
Yeah,
They make a good 1-2 combo right there. John Thompson may have said after the game they're the best 1-2 combo in there.
Is that right? I don't know.
I think the guys from Freedom might have a little bit of something to say about that. But no, huge win for Patriot.
Yeah.
They completely took control of Prince William after that. I mean, going into the playoffs, having a big win against Battlefield late in the season like that—that's a huge way to end the game. Yeah, it's huge.
Bragging rights for life.
Absolutely.
At least till next year.
We'll see. But hey, the big game. I don't want to know how late they were partying after that game. No school on Friday. Those guys were getting it after that game, and that place was going nuts, man. I think I saw the students rush the field afterwards.
That's right.
Tough night for Battlefield. Tough night for their offensive line. Huge win for Patriot.
Let me say this. Coach Van Aker has done a heck of a job at Battlefield High School. They have, and I know injuries are part of football.
Yeah.
They have had some of the worst injury luck that I've seen.
Yeah, man.
They start the season with starting offensive lineman Jason Portillo, fractured kneecap, out for the year.
Ouch.
And then the last month, and this is a little concerning, in the last month, Chris Farrell, starting tailback, Cole Swingle, starting tight end, defensive end, Jake Hitt, linebacker, fullback, all torn ACLs.
Goodness.
So that's all in the last month of football. So
that's tough.
Taking nothing away from Patriot.
No.
I don't know, Patriot may win that game either way. But it's been a tough going injury rise for Battlefield as the season's gone on.
21-0 though, shocking.
Yeah.
It was shocking.
Yeah, it was shocking.
21-0.
Yeah.
Hey, we had a chance today. We talked to a
Patrick
Patriot
Bentley.
quarterback,
Yeah.
Patrick Bentley.
He's legit.
He is legit.
He's put together. He's a put together kid.
Absolutely.
And a good kid. Yeah.
You saw him 7-on-7 over the summer, and
Yeah,
you texted me right
dropping
away and
dimes.
said, this dude's got a cannon on his arm.
Yeah.
So we had a chance to bring him out here, talk to him earlier. Check it out. All right, Patrick, 7-3. You guys had a huge win against Battlefield on Thursday night. That place was packed. It was awesome. Great atmosphere. Talk a little bit about that game.
Game was great. Loved the outcome. Came into it thinking it's going to be a good game, tough game. Ended up being a tough game. Didn't score until late in the second half. Fed off the energy from our fans. Defense played great the entire game, and line started to wake up and play the second half, and everything just came together and we started to steamroll.
Patrick, when you get in these crosstown rival games, how many of these kids from Battlefield do you actually know? Do you guys play any youth sports together? Are you friends outside of school?
No, a good amount. Friends outside of school. A few of them are on the travel 7-on-7 teams. Most of us, we just hang out in the off season, work out together. So we're pretty good friends. And then when it comes to this game, it's friends off the field,
Nice.
Rivals on the field.
You can see that little bit of a smile he's got going there. Well, you guys completely took control in that second half. I mean, you're like you said, your defense played terrific throughout, but your offensive line really started to gel in that second half. And I mean, you had the touchdown there in the second half to get them up. Talk a little bit about those scores and how your offensive line has been playing this year.
Our offensive line, fighting through injuries. We lost our center at the beginning of the year. We came back, which is great, helped us out a lot. We're gelling more and more every game, and I think it's just helping us out and making our deep run, hopefully, into the playoffs.
You talked about gelling as the season goes on. We saw you in the 7-on-7 USA football. You're dropping dimes this summer to some of the guys. Is that a bonding experience?
It is. You get to work on your offense together and defense, and you get to make your team bonding and become more of a family sooner than waiting till August to wait to 2 days and all that.
Well, a lot of coaches in the area, we've talked about it before with coaches, a lot of them don't like the 7-on-7 because a lot of them think, well, it's, we don't have our big guys out there. It's not football. It's all the skill position guys just running wild out there. How much does your coach like the 7-on-7?
I think he likes it a good amount. I think he wishes he could get our big guys out there too, but he likes it because we get some extra practice time to work on our plays.
And more importantly, how much do you like the 7-on-7?
Oh, it's fun because we ended up playing Battlefield, so did get to beat them twice in 7-on-7.
There you go.
And so get a little extra trash talk there. So
when's the trash talk stop? When's it stop, or does it ever stop?
It's pretty much stopped now.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, unless you're joking about it, there's no really trash talk like we.
I've been talking trash to kids from Madison for 20 years.
Yes.
And it's never going to stop.
That's absolutely true. Well, that atmosphere the other night, was that the biggest game that you guys have had there?
Yes, sir. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
getting in there was trouble.
That's right.
Getting in there was trouble.
What's that feeling like? Where I'm sure you tuned some of the stuff out, but it seemed like midway through the first quarter, there were still fans just piling into the stadiums.
Yes, sir. It's great atmosphere. We love it. We love it when our fans come and support us, so we can obviously win for them, and then also feed off of their energy and get the win.
Well, you do quite a bit of running, not just throwing out there. What do you like doing better? I mean, are you more of a drop back guy, or do you like that getting out there and running on the edge?
I like to throw the ball more. It takes less hits off of me.
Right.
But if I have to run, I can just tuck it and run. It's a nice little back pocket tool I have right there.
Especially at his size, you don't want to see him coming trucking through that line. Right? He was on the goal line the other night. I was like, man, get out the way.
Game planning now. You got a playoff game coming up against Hayfield this week.
Yes, sir.
They put a lot of points up. They got some talented kids over there as well, just like you guys do. What's the process mentally for you? Did you switch gears now? You just came off a big rival game that was important, but now playoffs start. What's your mindset?
We go in 0-0 thinking that we're going to come in this week and get the win. Not really going to change up our full mentality. We're mentally thinking that we're playing, all right, another great team. Got to come in, play our game, and win.
Excellent. All right, you guys got the tools to do it. You guys ready to go? Hope you guys have a terrific playoff run.
Thank you.
All right.
Patrick, thanks for joining us.
Thank
We're looking
you.
forward to seeing you this Friday night.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Patrick Bentley. Huge win against Battlefield. Huge game. Great season they've had so far. Watch out for that dude. We talked about it earlier with him. Biggest quarterback we've seen all year. Other than that,
shout out to Patrick Bentley's dad, Mr. Bentley. Thank you for your service.
Other than Jalen Thomas from Brier Woods, the guy that rotates in there and quarterback. Those are the two biggest guys we've seen at quarterback.
Oh, for sure. Rob, Westfield, Chantilly.
Westfield, Chantilly, usually a huge rivalry game.
Yeah, not so much anymore.
Chantilly having a little bit of a down year.
Wait, before we get to that, Chantilly, change your field turf. Not safe. Moving on.
Public service announcement?
Public service announcement.
There you go. All right, so Westfield goes into Chantilly. I don't care who you are, how you're playing. Westfield coming into your house late in the season is not a good situation. They put up 28 points in the first quarter. Sean Eckert. We've talked about him a bunch. I love that dude.
Yeah.
Sean Eckert, like I said, I don't care what you play him at, tight end, receiver, whatever.
Right.
You put him where you want, he's going to make plays. That dude gets 7 catches, 172 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Ramon Johnson, rounding into form.
Yeah.
Rounding into form.
Shaky start, strong finish.
11 of 13, 266, and 4 touchdowns.
Well, that's efficient.
Are you kidding me? I told you that he's been on a roll lately.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see them going into the playoffs.
No.
Catching their stride. Westfield they're going to be a tough out.
They're always a tough out.
They are going to be a tough out. But
let's talk about some of these playoff games.
Ramon Johnson. Good. 11 of 13, 266, 4 touchdowns. Ramon Johnson.
Ramon Johnson.
Some of these playoff games coming up. Robinson. They started off well.
Yeah, they were world beaters in the beginning.
They were. I'm afraid their season's coming to a close next week.
Who they got?
I'm sorry, Robinson, but I'm afraid your season is coming to a close next week. Lake Braddock.
I'll take Lake Braddock.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. No, don't try to jump on that. Don't try to jump on that. All right, another game we got. Washington Lee at Madison. Washington Lee, man. Ricardo Mestre, I like that dude a lot.
Is that your pick?
Their quarterback? No. No, I ain't going against Madison. Madison has a guy, Wiley Counts, that's been hurt. Little known fact.
Okay.
Met his grandmother yesterday.
Is that right?
Only a little known fact because I just told people that.
Now we know.
Yeah, met his grandmother yesterday. Terrific lady. Wiley Counts. I hope he gets back for the playoffs.
Yeah.
If he does, people are in trouble.
Alex Jallo, Madison, I'm watching you.
Yeah. Landon Thomas. Sorry. Blame him. Washington Lee's got to go to Madison. Ricardo Mestre is terrific. They're Washington Lee's quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm afraid their season's coming to a close.
I'm taking Coach Lenny Schultz as Madison Morehouse.
No doubt.
After the game, he made me want to go to church.
Really?
Very spiritual.
There you go. Woodson at Westfield. Yeah, I love Woodson. I love Coach Doc. I love JoJo Heisley.
Yeah. No.
Not as much as I love that Westfield team going into the playoffs.
Championship high. Are we 3 for 3 on picks this week?
Yeah.
Moving on.
Oakton at South Lakes. I ain't picking against
7 miles? I'm not picking against South Lakes.
No.
South Lakes wins.
56-0 over Fairfax. Come on, Fairfax.
Now-
0-10.
Come on. Fairfax High School. You're going to make me give back my letter jacket, yeah?
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. Mount Vernon at Centerville.
That'll be a good game.
It will. Mount Vernon's kind of fallen off a little bit late in the season. But, man, I'd like to play for Coach Monty Fritz. That dude gets me fired up.
I would too, but I'd like to play with Isaiah Culver.
You're absolutely right about that.
So, I'm taking Centerville.
I would, if I could throw a football, decently.
A big if.
It's a huge if. But I would love to just throw it up to him. That doesn't catch anything. I'm taking Centerville. Battlefield at South County. I'm gonna tell you something. After seeing the way Battlefield's offensive line played in that game against Patriot, there's no way I'm going against South County.
We love Coach Van Aker. We love Sean Green.
Solomon Samay.
Hey.
Jack McDaniels.
South County. That's going to be a tough.
I see 400 yards in Jack McDaniels' future coming up this week. I know that's tough to say, but I see 400 yards coming in his future. T.C. Williams at West Potomac.
Remember the Titans.
All right. I'll forget them.
T.C. Williams. I'm taking you.
I'm taking West Potomac. I ain't going against Mark Ellis and those two running backs he got over there.
I'm taking T.C. Williams.
Patriot at Hayfield. We both saw Patriot this week.
Yeah.
They had that 21-0 win over Battlefield.
Hayfield plays this style where they don't like to punt. They don't kick extra points. They only go for 2. So when those things are working for them, it's great. When it's not, put their defense in a bad spot. So still taking Hayfield.
Absolutely. Patrick Bentley, sorry. Enjoyed having you on the show. Loved watching you this Thursday night. Not as much as I like Brian Cobbs and Jacob Keeney. Let me tell you something about Jacob Keeney.
Yep.
Going into the game the other night, he had 29 passing touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns.
He's good.
So now, what do you have, 4 the other night, you said?
4.
43 touchdowns this year.
It's pretty good.
They win a playoff game, he might drop 50 on people.
He might.
That's ridiculous.
He might.
That's like, he's going Tim Tebow style.
And Nick Genovese.
Nick Genovese, watch out. Man, I would not want to be a defensive coordinator going up against them. A couple other games around. In Prince William, we got Hilton at Thomasdale. We talked to the LC Bird head coach David Bedwell one time about Thomasdale. Thomasdale, they're legit. We don't see them.
Where are they? Where are they?
Petersburg, I think. Somewhere around there.
Too far.
Yeah, too far. But Hilton's going to have a tough task in front of them.
Yeah.
I don't put anything against.
Oh, Ricky Slade's going to get his.
That's for sure.
And they won this week to get in. So
yeah.
I tell you what, one of the Hilton players, I don't remember who it was, said that they should be undefeated. The 4 losses they have all been by 7 points or less. They've all been games that they've either been tied or in the lead late.
Oh yeah, that's right. That Battlefield loss early was close.
So they feel pretty confident going into the playoffs.
They do. Freedom at Woodbridge, at Riverbend. Riverbend's really good.
Yeah.
But I'm rolling with my guys at Freedom, man. Those Freedom Eagles, I'm rolling with them.
I'm not picking against them.
No, man. Taekwon Brown's sensational sophomore, whatever. Dickie V could have all kinds of adjectives for him. But I'm going with them. Good. I'm rolling with the Eagles. But then we got Atlee at Stonebridge. I have no idea where Atlee is, so I'm taking Stonebridge.
I saw Atlee play in the state
lacrosse, right?
It was lacrosse. Yeah.
Well, they ain't playing lacrosse next week.
And they lost.
Yeah, they're playing Stonebridge.
Yep.
I'm taking Stonebridge. Orange at Potomac Falls. I think Orange is going to be black and blue after they play.
I think so too. Orange is the new what?
Cash Jackson, baby. Cash Jackson. Falls Church at Albemarle. Albemarle down there in Charlottesville. Man, a lot of these games.
I don't even know that. I know this.
What is going on?
How did we get to this point? I remember after. Weren't you supposed to just play district games? And
Weird, man.
whatever. I'll take Falls Church.
Yep.
He better put on a good old school 1980s Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan promo for the boys before the game.
You know, Coach Z's got that going.
All right.
Hey, had some great highlights from that game too.
Yeah.
They were terrific the other night.
Yep.
Tuscarora at Broad Run.
Yeah.
How the heck did that one go?
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I know you like Tuscarora a lot. I'm
I
taking
do.
Embry.
Remember the start they got off to this year, and now they find themselves in the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm taking Meech Embry, though.
All right.
Taking Broad Run.
I'm taking Tuscarora.
Briarwood's
Tusky Terror.
Briarwood's at Patrick Henry. Isn't Patrick Henry that team you always talk about?
Oh! Why'd you have to bring them up?
Sorry.
1994, 95. Eric Hall, you'll remember this. Patrick Henry of Ashland. Probably the greatest high school football team I've ever seen on a football field.
Amazing, because you usually say that it was your team.
I know, they beat us.
Whatever.
State semifinals.
Briarwoods, I'm taking you guys.
All right.
Mainly because I have no idea who plays for Patrick Henry.
Fair enough.
4A, Champ has to go to Charlottesville. Have know nothing about Charlottesville.
Yep.
I'll take Champ in that game.
Yep.
Carl Garmin III got a little dinged up the other night.
Did he?
Playing against Freedom, that was a tough one. But in 4A, Woodgrove and Dominion both have buys.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody beating Woodgrove in 4A.
Right.
Let's just say that. You know, Woodgrove is legit. Mike Kovich, their quarterback, is terrific.
Good ball team.
Yeah, they're Woodgrove.
Yeah. All right.
A couple of players that we have, just a couple of guys that were unbelievable this week. We had Albert Mensa, your guy from South Lakes. 16 carries, 174 yards.
Thank you, Fairfax High School defense.
5 touchdowns.
Outstanding.
Mike Kovich, just talking about from Woodgrove, 14 of 16, 216 yards and 2 touchdowns. 16 carries for 59 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Mike Kovich is getting it done. Sean Eckert and Ramon Johnson, we talked about earlier. Eckert had 7 catches, 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ramon Johnson, 11 of 13 for 266 and 4. Ridiculous.
Yep.
But you cannot go past. You can go ahead and say Landon Thomas.
Landon Thomas, 24 carries, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns.
And Lamont Atkins, 23 carries, 270 and 4 touchdowns.
This is amazing.
Lamont Atkins is from another planet.
Those are our 2 guys this week.
Yeah, Lamont Atkins is from another planet. And I would like to be from whatever planet he is from.
Well, this has been a great regular season. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thanks for Velocity Wings, Bristol, Virginia, hosting us. Yeah. And Prince William County, Channel 2, Comcast Local, Wrestling Channel 28. For Rob Giampapa, I'm John Moore. We'll see you next week for playoff coverage.
This week's top plays come to us from Hayfield High School's Nick Genovese, who makes 2 ridiculous catches en route to a 200-yard performance against Madison. If you have a top play, please send them to us at highlights@rebelrunsports.com. Thank you and have a good week.